Yeah, what's going on, family? It's your man B Miles coming to you live once again with another video from the B Miles 84 Conscious channel. In this late evening, early morning, I want to come to y'all with another video, man, talking about Denzel Washington comments on how it starts at home and how you can't blame the prison industrial complex. And I'm actually gonna go out on a limb and say this though, man. I'm gonna actually say that in one aspect, Denzel is right. I'm gonna say Denzel is half right on this, and it definitely comes with like a lot of responsibility and stuff like that. And it definitely does starts at home as far as like the parenting at home, having like great tradition, morals, values, principles. Having like a two-parent home or stuff like that. Or I'm gonna say having a parent, that is, ready and old enough, somebody that is responsible enough and not having a baby and all that. And to where as though, you having somebody that's 18 years old trying to raise a child and all that. And I agree with that on one aspect. It definitely just starts at home. But one of the things that Denzel Washington is missing is that, now I'm not coming from a victim mindset or whatnot, right? But I'm gonna say that the private prison industrial complex, they make billions of dollars, in particular, off of black bodies and all that. And at the same time, mind you, and all that, how it's like, okay, now mind you, it definitely just starts at home. But see, my thing is this though, right? Now, how do you gonna say, how do you just gonna say it starts at home, but you can't blame the private prison industrial complex when they shut down all of these schools that's in the inner city? I actually just got something from one of my subscribers. He told me down in Philadelphia, they're going to close down 23 schools in the city, but they actually going to spend $400 million on private prisons. So my thing is this though, right? So you best believe that. Okay, now mind you, I do agree that it starts at home, but you can educate your child at home and all that, but at the same time, what is a child going to do when a child doesn't have a school to go to? What is a child going to do? What is a child is actually going to do when they don't have any type of schools, any type of curriculum? They don't have any rec centers and all that. When at the same time, the private prison industrial complex, and I'm gonna say the powers that be, they was the ones that were targeting us when it came down to the war on poverty, the war on crime, and the war on drugs and all that. Because I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say like raising your child in a great home is definitely great, and I'm definitely gonna say it definitely just starts at home. But I'm gonna say like when it comes down to it, they actually like just closed down a lot of schools out in the city of Baltimore where I'm from. But they spent $30 million on a youth jail. They spent $30 million on a youth jail, and the jail was damn near filled up already. So my question would be to Denzel is that, how do you actually going to say like, they can't blame the private prison industrial complex and all that when at the same time we are actually being targeted disproportionately at a very high rate. I'm talking about we had drugs being planted on us. I'm talking about we actually getting pulled over and up on these traffic stops and all that. But you're already getting drugs and guns that's already being planted into our communities and all that. We don't have any rec centers. They cut out a lot of school funding and all that. They took away rec centers, and at the same time, there's not an outlet for a lot of these children. You know what I mean? And African American communities to actually do something to where so it will keep them out of trouble. Because the private prison industrial complex, they make billions of dollars. It is a $1 billion enterprise. When they housing bodies, in particular, when they housing quote unquote African American males. And I really believe that in Denzel Washington, if he was to take a look at the book called The New Jim Crow, he would get some sort of insights. He would get some sort of insight into where, like, like mind you, like I said, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it starts at home. But when that child goes out into the world, when the child doesn't have when the child doesn't have anything to like, do something to be productive, what is that child going to do? That child is going to be getting involved into crime. That child is going to be, taking all of the energy into doing something bad about, selling drugs or robbing people or beating up on old people, stuff like that. So like I said, when it comes down to that point, he is half right. Because when it comes down to it, we've been affected by many different agendas, coming from politicians. I don't give a damn whether they Democrat or Republican, conservative or liberal, because none of those people have our best interests at heart. But like I said, back to the case in point. Now, and it's already bad enough that you have a lot of African American men, they go to prison and all that. And these they actually working for multi $1 million companies like IBM and all that. But these guys can't even get a job working for IBM or working at a corporate company because because what the police departments do and all that. I'm talking about the cops, the judges, the lawyers, the state's attorneys, and them. All of them work with each other to fill up those prisons. Because my thing is this though, right? Somebody said down in Alabama, they were saying that they are losing a lot of money because they cannot house the inmates. Because mind you, if you're going to build a prison, you want to make sure that the prison is going to be filled. That's just like saying you want to build up a hotel and you just only want a certain amount of people that's there. No, you want to make sure that the hotel is filled up. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you're going to target people to come to their hotel. So just like when it comes down to the private prison industrial complex, they are going to target a specific group, and mind you, the most vulnerable group. And that is, the African American community. Now, mind you, they do target, Latino communities as well. But when it comes down to it, they are targeting a certain group of people to make sure that their private prisons are actually going to be filled up. Because how are you going to have a father in the household when they keep on locking up black fathers? How are you going to have a father in the household when they keep on killing off the black fathers? That's in the community. That's up to striving to do right. And like I said, when it comes down to the crime, I don't agree with that. I don't condone that. Of seeing brothers out there robbing, shooting, and killing one another. But for the most part, they create the conditions to make sure that they're going to lock us up and throw away the key. Because my thing is this, my thing is this, if like drugs wasn't my thing is this now, even when it come down to like this opioid crisis, are they locking the white people out of the alarm rate right about now? I don't think so. They helping them out, but when it came down to the crack epidemic back in the 80s, it was lock us all up, throw away the key. And they come up with all different kinds of laws. From like these all of these politicians, all of these congressmen and all that, to make sure that they are going to target us. You understand where I'm coming from? I'm talking about you could be doing the right thing and we still being targeted. I'm talking about we going to jail for the same amount of crime, but the sentences are much more longer anyway. So like I said, when it comes down to it, what Denzel said, he is right in one aspect, but he's missing the whole entire spectrum of the whole entire thing. But like I said, I do agree that it does start at home. It does start at home of like I said, train up a child and he or she may go. But like I said, you can still come from a great home. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to make bad choices. Now I'm gonna say you living in that good household, it can help limit you, from you making bad choices. But I'm going to say the private prison industrial complex is there to target us, to make sure that the prisons are filled. But like I said, I'm not coming from the victim mindset, but I just had to come to it on both ends of the spectrum. You feel me? But I had to put together this video, man, talk about what Denzel said, talk about his comments up on that. I felt that he had to bring up this subject. Keep on liking and subscribing to my channel. I always appreciate the love. And this is B Miles coming to you live once again from the B Miles 84 Conscious channel. One love once again. Peace.